As a small channel, it can be really frustrating. You're trying to get your videos out there, but they don't show in search. They're not suggested in any way. It's easy to get bitter with the algorithm for not helping you out. But let me reframe your thinking on this today, and let me give you a couple tools that will allow you to have your videos show up in search and rank there in a way that people will actually find your stuff. Hello everybody, Johnny here. And if you're new to the channel, I like to make videos to help content creators improve their mindset and strategies so that they can actually get their stuff out there and get some traction in this very competitive space. So if you get value from this video, you can give value back by clicking some of the stuff down below. The first notion we have to clarify is that YouTube isn't a platform for creators. It's made to service viewers. So with that in mind, it's easy for us to understand that the algorithm is trying to maximize for viewer watch time and engagement and all of that stuff with the platform. So as a small streamer, it's not likely you're gonna get your videos suggested to other viewers. Your best tool that you should be thinking about is search. So how do you make a highly relevant video that will show up and will rank well in search? When it comes to that, there are two main things we want to consider: competition and relevance. And it all comes down to the keyword you're targeting. This is the search term that you expect people to search and then find your video. You're gonna focus your title, and you're also gonna have your description mention that specific keyword, and you're gonna make those very relevant to the search term you're targeting. But that's not good enough. We need to make sure that that keyword is good for you specifically, in the sense that there isn't too much competition for it and your channel can actually rank there with the current level of competition. At the same time, we need to make sure that people are actually searching for that, even if not in a high volume. The trade-off is going to be that to find low enough competition keywords, you're probably going to have to start with a low search volume keyword. So a less commonly searched for term, so that you can actually compete in that space. The more you go towards very commonly searched keywords, the more and the higher competition you're gonna have. It's gonna be more difficult to have your video displayed at that level. So the big question is, how the hell do I find a keyword that matches those criteria and that can produce a video for me, for my channel, that will actually be shown if people search that particular term? Well, I have a couple of tools today that I want to show you that I use to find keywords for my videos. The first one is morningfame, and the second one is tubebuddy. There will be links to both down below, and they do help the channel if you follow those links at no cost to yourself. So let's do an example together and I'll show you the tools with the examples. Let's say that we're trying to create a video about good habits for a successful life. That's a good general type of video that some people might want to make. So let's try to go through the process that I typically go through in how to use the tools and how to go from an idea for a video to a specific keyword that can actually work for our channel. So let's get started with morningfame. When you open up the keyword search, you'll see that it's actually taking into account our channel stats here at the top. And everything it will show us in terms of scores is based off of that. That's crucial, right? Because we talked about competition and we need to see how we are doing in comparison to the rest of the competition. Can we possibly rank in that space that we're aiming for? So in our example, we were looking to make a video on good habits for a successful life. That was our initial idea, right? So let's check it out. The tool also allows you to piggyback off an existing video if you want to go that way. So what you'll be able to see is that our main keyword doesn't give you very good stats. If we click this and examine a bit further, you can see that our subscribers, views, and likes and comments are actually too low. This is a very commonly searched for term, which is good, but the problem is that space is too competitive for my particular channel in this case. The relevance would be great, but all the other stuff wouldn't be as great. So there's a lot of things we can do in the tool to find better tags. We're only gonna show a couple here. We're gonna do a full video on that later on, but one of the things we can do is we can see long tail variants of our search term. Another good way of finding a better search term that's tangential or related to your original idea is look at some of these suggested keywords here. So common keywords will typically be more difficult to compete in, but if we look at some of the uncommon keywords, sometimes you might get some good options. So by browsing around like I showed you, I found this better keyword. Secret to success is setting the right goals. Now this is not exactly the same as we set off with, but it's really quite related. We can still make the video we wanted to make, but frame it around this different title so that it hits this more competitive keyword for us. So we can see the volume of subs and views and likes and comments for us is more desirable. It's gonna allow us to compete in here. Whenever people search for this, there's a good chance our video is gonna pop up because as you can see in the stats here, we're actually doing better than the average video in some ways. The little number next to the tick indicates how commonly searched that term is. And you can see the score is way lower than some of the other terms we saw. This goes back to what I discussed before. If you're looking to be competitive with a keyword and your channel is small like mine is, you need to go for a keyword that doesn't have a ton of competition. And a lot of times that means it's also not very commonly searched for. But it is being searched for, and whenever it is searched for, your video will likely come up because it's relevant and you're competitive in that space. Whereas if you go for a very common search word, even though it's searched for a ton, your video is never gonna pop up because you're not competitive in that space. So let's take it to TubeBuddy and we'll go through the same process in that other tool to show you how it works. We open up the Keyword Explorer over here and we plug in our initial expression, which was good habits for a successful life. So it shows us it's a fair term. Now all of this is calculated based on your channel stats as well, so it should be relevant to where you're at in terms of competition. It also shows you the search volume and optimization strength, all of that stuff that morningfame also shows. But in the same way, you could check out the most used tags here for different options. You can typically also get some other relevant search results on the right, even though this time we didn't get any. We can see our search term is not trending enough to show us some top queries. So if we make it a bit more generic, if we search for good habits, you can get some decent suggestions here for longer tail terms that you might want to use. Ultimately, if we try the same keyword that we found in morningfame, let's see what it gives us. It shows us as a good result, which seems in keeping with the results we got from morningfame as well. You can also see here and in morningfame the results that you get for this search term, and you can see what your competition looks like, and maybe try to have your thumbnail pop in some way, break the pattern so that people stop and click your video when they see it. That's really important too. Overall though, I have to say morningfame seems to me a more powerful tool to look for low competition keywords. TubeBuddy seems to require a minimum amount of trending for a keyword for it to show you good suggestions and good, long tail options and all of that stuff. If it doesn't have enough search volume, it doesn't seem to be able to give you enough tangential keywords or other suggestions, which I think is a big bonus for morningfame, which it really does help smaller channels find competitive keywords that they can rank in. But with that said, TubeBuddy does offer a bunch of other functionality, productivity tools, and a lot of other stuff that is very handy that I use routinely, and we'll make more videos about that. But hopefully this gave you an idea on how to be more productive with the keywords you're targeting and how to be more deliberate about the video you're making so that it's relevant to something that people are actually searching for. And hopefully that helps you a ton. If it does, let me know down below. Feel free to catch me live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Feel free to catch me live on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays.